What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your host here, Dano, giving you the best content that you're going to find on the internet. If you stay for 10 minutes, I promise you're going to stay for the entire episode because we have so many golden nuggets and gold bars because we have Lumbie Mlambo here, founder of the JB Dundalo Foundation, where you guys are going to want to stick around for this because she's going to talk about everything that it takes to provide clean water, hygiene, and tools necessary for the women and the women and children around the world. So Lumbi, what do you have to say to everybody before we get started?
I just want to say thank you so much first of all, thank you so much, Dana, for having me on your show. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really excited about your audience. And I just want to say hello, everyone. Yeah, let's roll. It's gonna be fun.
Let's Let's do it. So
Let's
even
do
before
it.
we get started, thank you so much for being here today. And everybody, to my positivity posse, like, share, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations because it's time for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, everybody. I'm super excited to be here with you. There's nowhere else that I'd rather be here than with you guys, my positivity posse, every Thursday at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here to hear about Lumbi's incredible story and everything that she still has to accomplish and everything that she's been doing. Amber, thank you so much for commenting on YouTube. Hello, we're glad to see you as well. Thank you, Jeanette, for dropping hashtag or hello, beautiful souls. It's really, really nice to see you guys as well here on this Thursday. And when I'm telling you guys, we're in for a super special treat because of all the great things and all the great energy that you're just going to feel from hearing about Lumbi's story and JB Dundalo. And we're going to be talking about her music for water competition that we're going to be, diving into. It's going to be a great, great time. So like I said, I hope you guys are ready for it. And remember to like, share, do whatever you got to do to raise your vibrations, because when you do like and you do share, you just feel that much better that you're spreading the great word out there to your friends, to your family, to even to some strangers. And just the fact that you're doing that, you're just going to receive more of it yourself, all of these great vibrations and this great energy as well. So thank you so much for being here. And before we bring Lumbi on, you already know what we got to do. I got to break it down to you guys. I got to talk to you about, some things that happened this week that I really wanted to share with you guys. Number one, if you didn't already know, I got my first magazine cover, and I can actually go grab it after the break. But I got my first publication cover thanks to all the hard work through my positivity posse, through all the great guests that we've had. So thank you so much, because I couldn't do it without it. I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much for that. And like I said, I'll show you a picture of it, and I'll show you the actual publication, because it's a really nice feeling just to know that all of the work that we have been putting in is not going to waste. So same thing for you. If you're watching right now and, you've been grinding for so many years and you really haven't seen the results that you may, have been thinking that you wanted to see at the time you wanted to see, just hang in there and stay strong, because it will pay off. And whether we may not see it, 5 minutes from now or tomorrow, maybe a week from now, or it may even be a year from now, it's all going to be amazing. And we all know that once we keep, putting in the work and putting in the positive energy, great things will come about for us. So I've seen that in my own self. And like I said, even having somebody like Lumbi on for today, that she's just a great demonstration of that, and all the great things that she has, all the awards and the lives that she's changing. That's what it's all about. It's not about the title. It's, sometimes, hopefully, it's not about the money that you're in it for. It's just to pay it back and pay it forward to that next person who may need the tools to succeed in their life. And who knows, that person that you might impact and, with the positive vibrations and just being a positive influence for, they might be the ones to really change the world in greater ways that we could ever see. So never have that bit of jealousy within you. And like I said, just keep grinding and keep growing strong. One more thing I want to mention to you guys is I was driving the other day, and there was this guy that really had terrible road rage. He was just cutting everybody off on the road and, acting like a nut on the road and not, practicing safe driving. But later on down the line, we ended up actually meeting at each other, car to car at a red light. So for all that worrying and all that rushing and all that stressing that he was doing, we ended up at the same place. And, I got there with a lot more calmness and probably a lot more peace, whether, versus that guy. We've all done it before. We're probably cursing in our cars and just, throwing off some negative vibes and, probably stressing out, causing more stress to ourselves that we don't, necessarily need. But it just got me to thinking, if you're in this point, wherever you are in your journey, in your life, in your professional career or relationships or whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you're taking time to appreciate the journey along the way as well. Because number one, once you do get to that destination, you're not going to learn how to truly appreciate where you are at that moment in time, because you're just going to be thinking about the next place that you need to be. So number one, enjoy the journey. Number two, take it easy, slow down from time to time. I know, especially living in Philadelphia, man, or just outside of Philly, is we're always in a rush to go wherever we're supposed to go or do wherever we're supposed to do. But like I said, make sure you're appreciating the journey along the way, because that's number one. It's just going to be that much more greater when you do get to whatever destination it is that you're going. And then number two, you'll be able to appreciate, the journey along the way. And, when we're older and maybe on our deathbed, looking back on everything, you can say, wow, I actually took the time to appreciate my life in every single detail. And there was nothing that I wouldn't change about it as well. So that's just my 2 cents for you guys. I really hope that you're doing that. And like I said, let me know some positive tidbits or some great things that's happened maybe to you throughout the week. Drop it in the comments just so we can hear about it and we can spread the good vibrations out there into the world as well. So let's just look at a few of these comments. Thank you, Lou, for dropping a hashtag positivity posse. I really appreciate that. Jeanette says right here, great things are happening all the time. Keep the belief going. Believe in yourself. Believe in possibilities as well. So I couldn't have said it better myself. One more, it says, so proud of you. Keep up the outstanding work. Next to GQ magazine. Yes, 100%. And, I'll have my hair right and I'll shave by that time. But, we just got to take our winnings and just be grateful for them. And, just give thanks to everything, to the universe, to, higher beings, or whatever it is that you decide to believe in. Just be thankful for it all at the end of the day. And not even at the end of the day, excuse my language, even throughout the day, when the things aren't going as well, or maybe we don't prefer them to happen that way, or the events to unfold that way, just always give thanks and appreciation, because it's all serving us for our highest good as well. So that's just my little bit for you guys. I hope that you're staying well out there. And when I tell you, you guys better get ready for Lumbi's story and all of the great things that she's doing as well. She's the founder of the JB Dundalo Foundation, where her emphasis is really to help, women and young girls and young children in general, to provide them the tools that they need in order to succeed in life, to provide them with clean drinking water and everything that they might need in order to have a very happy and successful life. So, like I said, it's time to bring Lumbi onto the show. Like, share, do whatever you got to do to raise your vibrations. Lumbi, what are you doing back there? Stop providing these great, this great water, drinking water for the kids nowadays. It's time to come onto the show. Lumbi, it's
What?
amazing to have you. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Doing absolutely amazing. Every day above ground is a great day, right? There's so much to be thankful for today. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for having me on your show.
oh yeah, and
Been
like I
looking forward
said,
to this.
oh yeah, this is gonna
Mm.
be great. And like I told you earlier in the green room, this is the type of stories that we need to hear about and that we should, be informed about because you're doing a lot of great work, not only in your city or in your area, but in around the entire globe, which is absolutely amazing. So of course we had to have you on the show. So we have a lot to cover in such little time. So let's just get started with everything. A lot of people nowadays, from my friends I can speak to, specifically, but some of their parents have, foundations and, restaurants or businesses. And a lot of people say, well, I don't really want to carry on my father's legacy or my mom's legacy because that's them. And, I want to be my own person. Now, for you, for everybody watching out there, just in case you don't know, the name JB Dundalo actually is named after her father. And, he was very philanthropic and always giving back to the community. So let's start right there. Why is it that you wanted to follow in his footsteps, maybe, but obviously your own version, but you wanted to give back into the world and just see it better in the condition than what we found it in?
Yeah, so I did want to do that, everything that you just said. But one thing I knew was that I could never fill my father's shoes. There's no way. I wanted to do just a little bit of that, but also to make him proud. That I wanted him to see that I didn't forget about what he was doing. I didn't forget about him. I didn't forget about him at all. I just wanted to keep his legacy alive because I knew, um, to me, it means a lot. I loved him a lot. He loved me a lot. And I wanted to just carry his legacy and appreciate his work more than anything. And to not only do that, but to also find my purpose in doing that. I didn't want to just carry on his legacy, but I also want to do something for myself. And in doing that, I did find my purpose. So I'm happy to say that his purpose was not water. My purpose is water. But still, I kept his legacy by, using his name for for my organization, JB Dondolo. Because that way, the name itself helps me to stay focused. Every time when I try to divert and do something else, I'm like, wait a minute. My dad would have focused on this. He would have done it this way. Why can't I just, commit to doing the same? So that's what
I
I'm
love
doing.
that. And I love that. And, it's very important to keep the legacy going because number one, specifically with JB Dundalo, water is kind of a scarce, you can make the claim that it's a scarce, resource in the world nowadays. And if you look at what's going on in California, I know that, they're limited to, a certain amount of showers and you can't like water your lawn on like Mondays, Wednesdays, or whatever the schedule is. And that might be something there's also some people that say that that might be what, World War III comes over, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. But it's important and very, we're all grateful throughout the world that you're actually taking the step up and being the face of what it looks like to help these people in the water, in the water field specifically. But when I was reading your bio earlier, I'm going to take it verbatim as to what it says. And it says that you are very enthusiastic about giving back to women and girls to give them the tools that they need to live a healthy and productive life. So, in regards to those tools, what are some examples of tools that maybe women and and girls, what do they need in order to have a healthy and productive life?
They need water, not just water, clean water. That right there opens up so many doors for the women and girls. Because once they have water, can you imagine that? I mean, it cuts down their time, first of all. So I save them time from walking like miles and miles away looking for water. So they don't have to walk that far anymore. Because we install the water systems within the communities, intentionally within the communities, so they don't have to walk far. The water is just right there. They don't have to walk like 19 miles a day looking for water. Instead, it's just like
Wow.
a matter of minutes. So I'll give them time so that they can focus on themselves to improve themselves, improve their lives, like attain income earning skills. Girls get to go to school because, as you know, most places where women don't have water or girls don't have water, girls don't go to school because they're busy looking for water out there the whole day. There's no time to go to school. So I give them time so that they can focus on themselves in education, improving themselves. Um, and also, once they have those skills, they're able to not just have water, but also food security because we enable them with irrigation for farming so that they can grow crops and sell and do everything, you know, grow their own food so they're not hungry, they're healthy and productive.
Wow, and that's absolutely amazing. So let me ask you a quick question. When it comes to, like you said, walking 19 miles in a day, how long does that take to walk 19
10
miles?
hours, about 10
What,
hours.
10
Hmm.
hours just to find water?
You have both ways, just total 19 hours,
Wow, 19 hours walking each way, and we kind of have the luxury
both
here.
ways.
Wow, that's incredible. We have the luxury here of just, turning on the sink and having, the Brita filter. So, like I said, there's so many reasons to be grateful, and water's a big one as well. So I didn't really think about being grateful for, having running water today, but I'll add that to the list of everything that we got going on. So thank you for sharing that as well. Now, we're going to switch gears a little bit to talk about funding. And I know that might be a challenge for you because as great as this organization that you might have, I know that for all the great organizations out there, everybody's struggling with maybe trying to find funding. Is that something that you've had trouble with trying to find?
Oh, yeah. Funding is every organization's problem. It is hard to get funded. And it's even worse if you're like a female owned organization and a woman of color to get funded. It's not easy.
Mhm.
So, most of the times we don't get funded. We get funded by like small donors, like individuals. They make it happen. Small individuals, no matter how much they give, because then we can go around and say, you know what, we have like maybe say 15 bucks. Who wants to match the funding? Who much wants to match that 15 bucks? It
Mhm.
doubles. You find that when you're talking about smaller amounts, a lot of people are willing to give. If you're talking about a big amount, a lot of people are not ready to give you. So the way we work is that we work by piece by piece. Like I can ask for, say, for like a water tank, and I can say, okay, we're raising for one water tank, $450. So that's our goal. We start fundraising. We can achieve that in like maybe a week or two. Then we have enough for a tank. Or we can say, you know what, we need water pipes. So we can fundraise for water pipes. Maybe it's $1,000, or maybe it's less than that. Just depends on the distance. So that's how we raise funds, piece by piece, until we get it done. Because if you do
I
it like
love.
the whole project, we'll never get it done. We'll be waiting forever because um, a lot of organizations, because we're a nonprofit, it's as if they don't trust you with their own money. So we have to kind of prove it to them that, with this money that they're giving us, we're definitely going to do what they gave us. I mean, with that money, to do with that money. We're going to do exactly what they asked us to do. We're not going to spend it on ourselves or go shopping or something else. No, we're going to spend it on just that, the project. So we take videos, we take pictures, and do stories so that they can see where their money is going. And we share everything online. Everything's public. You know who's donated, how much, and where that money went.
Yeah,
But
and
it's not
that's
easy.
Yeah, and that's pretty interesting too. Because when I was looking at your website, if you guys are interested to, hopefully you're interested to donate to the JB Dundalo Foundation, you can go on the website, and I believe you had some economic pieces on there as well. I'm not sure what the exact tab was, but I was like, wow, that's pretty transparent. How you have like the accounting pieces where every dollar goes as well. But it's like you said, if money's scarce out there, and you have these people that really don't believe that you're doing what you're saying that you're doing with the money, that's just another piece of peace of mind for the person that's donating. And it's really sad how a few bad apples in the donation world can really ruin it for everybody. But besides, I want to go into that a little bit more. But besides, people may be lying and saying that the money's not going where it's going. What are some other barriers or troubles that you've encountered with trying to raise money for your organization?
Well, that's really the main barrier most of the time. That's really it. That you were female, African American. Um, that's it, and that we are a nonprofit, because a lot of people don't trust nonprofits.
Okay.
You know,
You would think
because
that.
it takes one bad apple, like you said, just one, to mess the whole thing. All the apples get messed up. Just one bad apple out there, everything gets messed up. So, as a nonprofit, you're constantly having to prove where the money is going, the impact, that you're creating or making in the communities. We're constantly having to show that, and have not just the impact, but also testimonials, real people, not just fake people, actually saying that you help them, and monitoring progress as well. But our challenge really is just that one of being female, and being African American. That's what it is. That's our
Wow.
challenge right now.
And you know what? Even though you're facing all these barriers, I think everybody can take this lesson in their life. There's a way to work around it, and if there's a will, there's a way, right? So if you're so determined
Yes.
to help these people, money will flow, and maybe it's a personal sense, or like you said, for you specifically, in the nonprofit sense. So just always keep going. And like I said, it may sound cliche, and it may sound good that he's just saying that because he just wants to sound good on TV. No, I've experienced it. Lumbi has experienced it, and I'm pretty sure to my positivity posse and everybody watching, you can recall a time where things may have not seemed like it wasn't going to work out for you, but then boom, a miracle happens or something great happens to you as well, and then you're able to fight through it as well. So if it happens once, then it can happen 2 times. If it can happen 2 times, it can happen 10 times. 10 times to 100 times. But Lumbi, more about your organization and your nonprofit. What are the different locations that you're trying to target so these people, these women, and these young women can have clean drinking water? What are the different locations?
So we are in Africa, and we're in the US as well. But we're in the underserved communities
Okay.
where there's drought, and where people are left off grid. There's
Hmm.
no access to like clean water at all. Like I'm talking about places like for example in the US, since we live here in Philadelphia, I'm talking about New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, talking about the Navajo Nation, Skid Row, California, Clint, Michigan. So places like that. Those are the ones I'm talking about, and also Houston, and stuff like that. But in Africa, I'm talking about places like in Zimbabwe, for example, in the communities that are like in the countryside, where people don't really have any access. Some places are very rocky, like in the Matopo Hills. The women are widowed because of the war. They're women, they just live by themselves. They have children, young children. So those women are the ones that we're looking after, out for. And also places like, Igusi Clinic or Igusi Community, where people don't have access to water, schools don't have access to water. Just recently, we tried to help them as much as we can, because the students actually begged for a water system. They begged us. Do you know that how we funded that water system? We're still funding it, by the way. Do you know that I took the story out to like social media and started talking about it like on some TV shows, like your TV show, and saying what we're trying to do about these schools? Do you know that students out of some schools here in Texas funded the schools in Africa
Wow.
by asking for $7 per person?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's all it takes? Seven,
that,
seven? You said $7?
yeah, $7. They
Wow.
said we need. They said we need 100. I think it was like 100 people to donate $7. They started out like that way. And from that, people just started donating $7, $10, $15, $2, and other people started matching. In 2 weeks, we raised 2,100,
Wow.
enough to sink a borehole for two schools, consisting of 500 students. So we
Wow.
did that, and
That's
then another student went on here in Texas. He said, "I want to just do it." He said, "I want to raise like $850 for the two water tanks for the schools, 5,000 liter tanks for two schools, you know." They did it in 2 weeks. They raised that much. So now we're going back for what? For the water pipes. We're back to like measuring how long should the water pipes be from where the borehole is going to be. I mean, it's been sunk. How far is it from the school? And how long should the water pipes be? And should the tanks be too close to the school, or should they be somewhere, a walking distance to allow the students to kind of, get some exercise, when they leave school or like from their classrooms? So we're working on that to see what is best for the students. So, but you see how it doesn't take a lot of money. It can take as little money as possible, but it takes a village. If you have a lot of people that you know and you ask even $5 per person, you'll be amazed how much people contribute to that. They donate because not because you're asking for money, but because of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
They know, they empathize with those students who don't have any water, because these students have gone for months, for years without any water.
Wow. And of course they want to help you out too, because you're a woman of integrity and you're really putting your life on the line to help these people and help these young kids get the water that they deserve. Because you would think that would be something that everybody that's born with should have the capacity and the ability to have, is drinking water and stuff to wash your clothes or cook with, or everything that you might need. So thank you for doing that as well. And I want to talk about that, working with the students in a way, or maybe it doesn't have to be students. It could probably be another adult, but I'm going to let you tell this story. Has there ever been a time where, maybe you were on the brink of like giving up or just saying, I'm not going to do this anymore? And was there ever a moment in that, chaos or maybe confusion, that something happened, maybe it's with another person, an experience, whatever it may be for you, that you just said, you know what, you knew that it was going to be worth it in the long run, and that everything that you're doing, all the hard work, was actually worth it? Did you ever have any moments like that?
Yes, yeah, several moments actually. I think a lot of people by now know me that I don't like gossip. When people gossip about me or my organization, about how slow we are to provide the systems, water systems, you know what? I say to myself, they really don't know who I am. They don't know how this organization works, because I don't really focus on gossip that much. It distracts me from what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, gossip alone can make you quit, because people can be hateful and can be very hurtful. They can just make you feel like what you're doing is not worth it, or you're wasting your time. So there's been a lot of those instances where I felt like, what's the point? Not only that, but sometimes also when there's lack of funding, and you know that you really need to get funding as soon as possible, like before, like a certain time frame. Like for example, in Matobo Hills, women cannot be walking like that long of distances in the winter season. When it's cold, they cannot. And when it's really, really hot, they cannot be walking out there for that many hours because of dehydration. So then you think of those times like, okay, you want to try to avoid, um, taking too long to raise funds, because you want to provide a water system as soon as possible, so that they wouldn't have to go through that season. They wouldn't have to go through, like say it's too hot for them to be working. So those type of things make you kind of, when you don't get that kind of funding, or not enough of funding, they make you feel like quitting. But what really sticks out for me, or stands out for me, is that I always think about those women and those girls. I imagine that it was me. How would I feel if somebody quit on me? I wouldn't like that. So I don't want to look like I'm a quitter. I don't want to quit on them. I always tell myself, you know what, I can quit anything, but I'm not going to quit on women and girls. I'll always be there. I'll always try my best to be there. If I'm not enough, maybe somebody else will. I'm always willing to say, hey, if somebody else comes before me to provide you or give you some water, let them give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't count on me alone. This is like a humanitarian effort. It should not just be me providing water. If somebody else comes and say, you know what, I have a water system, I can provide it for you by next week, go for it. Yeah. But yeah, the things that really stopped me, that it made me almost quit, is just lack of funding. And but gossip, I mean, I almost ignore it, because People know me. I just don't focus on gossip at all. They can gossip their way out and gossip their way to wherever. I don't really care.
I love that.
If it's not true about me, why should I care? My mother used to say, if what they say about you is not true, why do you even worry? Because you know who you are. You say, focus on who you are and be great and do great things for people.
I love that. I love that so much. And, you know, it's really important. And that can be for anybody, not just maybe in the nonprofit world or in the humanitarian world, but whatever it is that you're doing, if you're working with somebody and a coworker is talking, you know, like you said, gossiping about you, if you know that it's not true, then why would you give into it or why would you even react to it? And, you know, if you do react to it, that must mean that you think that there might be a little bit of truth to what they're saying. But it's
exactly.
I know it's really like you said, though, just you not giving up is helping these kids and helping these young women. And like I said, even what you said earlier about 19 hours, I couldn't even imagine that. And you were saying how, you know, when it comes to raising these funds, you try to do it as quickly as possible, obviously, because let's just say if a project takes 2 weeks for you to fund, even in those 2 weeks, they still have to go and, you know, go get the water and bring it back and walk 19 hours. That's just absolutely ridiculous. But before we go to a commercial break, I want to ask you, when these women do go walk to get 19 hours to go, you know, grab their water, how much of it are they able to bring back? Because you got to imagine, you know, they're not the strongest in the world and they can only carry so much. How long does that water last that they grab for the 19 hours?
You know, they carry a lot of it on their heads, and some of it just buckets, like, you know, in their hands, and just walk with a bucket on their head and also carrying with their hands. Yeah, they walk, but, you know, they don't just walk straight. They walk and make stops to rest, you know, for a little bit, you know, and then continue until they get to their destination, till they get to their homes. They are very wise about how they use water. They know what the water is used for. Because if you have to walk that far for water, trust me, you will be very careful how you use that water. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's going to be almost like a governing body, a body that tells you, hey, you can use this water to drink at this time or at that time, because, I mean, you don't want to be completely out of water. So they make it last so that they won't have to be walking like on a daily basis, because that could be really, really too much.
100%. And, you know, thankfully we have people like you in this world that can help them and ease their pain and ease their problems. Because like I said, here, you know, not necessarily in the United States, because like you were saying, when it comes to like Flint, Michigan, or, you know, California, all these people, they may not have the same luxury, but, you know, it really helps me to be more appreciative of the water that I do have. And thank you so much for doing everything that you do. So right now we have to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Like, share, do whatever you have to do. If you need to type in a question for Lumbi that we can come back to on the comments, I'll ask it for you guys. Like I said, do whatever you got to do to raise your vibrations. And we're just going to play a quick word from our sponsors. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Did you know you can apply to over 50 historically black colleges and universities at the same time for only $20? You can with the Common Black College application. Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm the founder of the CBCA. Students around the world have completed the application and received multiple acceptance letters, financial aid packages, and scholarship offers. So visit our website at commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. And don't forget to pick up the book, Get Educated, The Man Behind the Common Black College Application.
everybody. That was just a quick word to our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. And we're here to keep the vibrations going, high vibrations going, and spreading the great works that JB Dondolo Foundation is doing here with Lumbie Mlambo, the founder, and just hearing more about her story and another contest that we're going to be talking about. Let's talk about that right now. We're going to be talking about your Music for Water contest. Could you let everybody know out there watching right now what the Music for Water contest is?
Oh yeah, that's a very, very fun initiative in that you get to participate in submitting your song. You just create your own song. It doesn't have to be like a water song, you know what I mean? But it has to be water inspired. By that I mean, you have to say, you know what, I wrote this song because when I heard about water, it kind of makes me feel like, this is a humanitarian effort. So therefore I created this song, to honor the efforts of maybe this organization. Or it could be just plainly a water song where you're talking about water, whatever, and stuff like that. So you just create a song and then submit it and online at jbdondolo.org/music for water. You can just go to to our website also. It's when you look at the menus, you're gonna see that there's a sub menu for Music for Water. You submit your song. It's a very, very short form, less than half a page. Where you enter your name, your last name, and the song name, and where people can find your song, where we can find your song, not where people can find your song, where we can find your song, so that it can be judged by our judges. We have judges here that will look at your song and determine whether you qualify among the top 3, because we're looking for the top 3 songs. So if the top 3 songs win, and you're one of those people, that means that the first prize is gonna get 1,500, second prize is gonna get 750, third prize is gonna get $500. So that's what we're doing this year. We used to before last year and on, we used to give a one-time distribution deal, with a record label, GMIR. But effective as of this year, we're no longer doing that. We're instead giving out cash and also publicity. So it's really a good thing in that. Thank you for sharing the screen as well. So I think you're already on there where it says submit your song. So you just submit your song, and this year, anybody that donates while they are submitting a song, or anybody that just goes and donates, we're going to use that money to help Skid Row. It has 10,000 people, unhoused population, that are in need of water. So we're going to benefit Skid Row with some sanitary items, hygiene items, stuff like that.
So, and I want to ask you about that. Why did you decide to pick all the winnings and all, to help the people of Skid Row? Why did you choose there?
Well, because to be honest with you, the homeless population is very overlooked. Nobody really cares about them. But if you look at the numbers, the number of women on Skid Row and number of girls on Skid Row, then you start to wonder, how are they living? They're homeless. What can we do to help? What is it that we can do to kind of, alleviate the girls and women from that poverty? Because our goal is not just temporary. No, it's not temporary fix. We're actually looking for a long-term solution. But we're trying to see, as we do so, this allows us to kind of have the conversation with the women and girls, and not just women and girls, but everybody there on Skid Row. It gives us that opportunity to kind of converse and discuss, how did you end up here? What is it that you need? How can we help you? Long term, we want to have those moving trucks so they can shower, and change clothes and stuff like that. But also long-term goal is to attract other organizations maybe that would provide shelter for them, or long-term housing and stuff like that. So our goal is to kind of bring awareness, not just for water or anything, but also to bring awareness to housing they need to be housed.
Yeah, and the first step, right, like you said, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and even just talk to you about your feelings. I know a lot of people. I've actually done it a few times before, where you'll see a homeless person on the street and you'll talk to them, and you'll kind of wonder, hey, what happened in your life for you to end up where you are right now? And not all of them are, drug addicts or whatever the stereotype is, associated with homeless people. Not all of them are like that. Some people, have had rough, past or upbringing, and it's just the luck of the cards is what they was drawn to. But it's like you're saying, when you have these conversations with people, that's the first step to see, hey, what is it that you need in order to get back on your feet? And I'm pretty sure once you supply these, population or these people or women and children with what they need, they'll be back on the right track, and their life will be on the upswing again, to see all of the great things that they might do and the impact that they might have on everybody as well. So thank you for doing that as well, because number one, the stereotypes, yes, they may fit some of the time, but not all the time. So don't just assume everybody's that way. And then number two, with the JB Dundalo Foundation, I just showed you guys, where you can go to upload your songs, to create the songs, and you can win some money too, with along with helping a great cause with everything that's going on. I want to share a clip that I saw the other day when it comes to water, and how kind of callous and unfortunate, or how people can act a certain way when it comes to, no matter how great whatever cause or affect their organization that you have, there are going to be some people out there, like Lumbi was saying, that are not going to be there for your best interest as well. And like I said, I was watching this clip the other day. It's a 2-minute clip I'm going to share with you guys about this gentleman who created water. There's a machine that he creates water from thin air in Flint, Michigan. And as we all know, the water conditions over there aren't really all that great. So I just want to share with you guys this video, because it perfectly ties into everything that we're going to be talking about, and everything that we have talked about here with the JB Dundalo Foundation. So just take a look for this, everybody, and let me know what you think.
They drained fuel. They added something to the coolant lines. They played with electronics. And that's not typical vandal stuff.
Less than a week after bringing free water to Flint, Moses West says the green machine he designed to do just that was vandalized.
Once they broke into the machine and they destroyed the generator, very technical. They knew what they were doing. It wasn't just, random vandalism, not at all. They destroyed the battery. They put metal in the fuel system. I saw that when I was cleaning the fuel filter.
West is a military veteran who travels across the country to areas in crisis, bringing a machine he designed, like this one, that literally makes fresh water out of thin air. He put the green machine out for people along Saginaw Street on Thursday and was hoping to make a big impact. He says before the vandalism, they were giving hundreds of people free water every day.
You got to look at, I'm making anywhere from 1,200 to 2,000 gallons of water a day. You give it away for free. That's a lot of money out of somebody's pocket someplace.
West says that he can only speculate as to why someone would try to destroy something that was just trying to help the community.
West says he hopes to have the green machine back open and working again soon, with some anti-vandalism features added as well.
It actually sits in the air. I set it on the ground because the ground was a little bit unstable for it to sit on the legs, but now.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, just to say that no matter what great work that you might be doing in the world, like such as JB Dundalo's organization, there's always going to be some haters out there, and you just got to keep pushing through with it. But now we're going to put his positive spin on it with JB Dundalo and Lumbi here, the founder. You are an official organization with the United Nations. Can you tell us how that came about, and what the process was like for that?
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to address a little bit of what Moses West did with that water system. It's just unbelievable that you build something so beautiful and somebody goes and destroys it. It's like very intentional. It's not a mistake, like we're saying. The person really meant to do that. So that's evil, We run into that too. We've run into those kind of issues as well, where we can install a water system and somebody will come and just steal it and move it, and the next day it's not there. So we had to do all kinds of things to protect the systems. Yes, to protect the systems. It happens all the
Wow.
time. Yeah. But yeah, as far as how we got connected with the United Nations, I think it was probably after we installed our very first water system. It was a filtration system that was so beautiful, magnificent. And that was at Igusi Clinic in Zimbabwe. Everybody just came around it to marvel because it was so beautiful. They would just touch it. They didn't know what it was. It just looked like a beautiful piece of machine. And in the countryside, for that matter, they would touch it and sleep around it and everything, and just didn't want to leave it. And people just, loved it. So I think from that, the word just got around that people were just talking about this thing, this beautiful thing that we gave to the community. And the next thing, we were being honored by the United Nations, a UN Global Leadership Award for SDG 6, which is clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, for the work we did in Zimbabwe with that, because that system indirectly impacted communities of about 20,000 people,
Wow.
just that system.
Wow.
Because people use the same clinic. They come from all over the place to use that clinic. So now that clinic has water. They didn't have water before.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I think that's how we got connected. And then from that, I joined the United Nations Association, the chapter that's in Dallas, because it's the one that actually recognized me for the UN work. So before I knew it, I became the member with the UNA USA at the global level. And then from there on, I mean, just long story short, I started, participating in their events, also hosting the events, or being a panelist at the UN events, and just bringing people to the UN, and stuff like that. I became a global goals ambassador. Global goals meaning that all 17 global goals, I had to learn about those 17 goals and understand them very well, how I could tie to each of those, or how each of those interact with each other and where they cross over and stuff like that, and how I can help people with that. So, and I like that because it really allows me to create so many connections and have partnerships and work with so many people that I never
Wow.
thought I could actually work with, because I thought I would just work with water and water, and that's it. Not knowing that there's more to just water, but there's all these other pieces. Because without water, water touches just about everything. Everything you can
Of
think of.
course.
There's always. So, in my case, I find that I find myself working with all 17 SDGs.
And
Which is
what's
what I
amazing
like.
about that too is, it always happens that way, where you go out on a mission and you hear about it time and time again through story after story. You start out doing one thing and then you'll end up, helping out and branching out into other ways that you might have even thought about, or meeting so many great people along the journey. And just it is such a beautiful thing when you start out, number one, giving to other people and living a life of service such as yourself, and then all the great things that happen in between there. So I'm just so happy just to be able to have you on, Lumbi, just to share your organization with JB Dundalo. And if there's somebody that's watching right now, you can go to jbdundalo.org, because it is a nonprofit, and you can go donate. And it doesn't matter, as Lumbi said in the beginning of the episode, it doesn't matter how much or how little, just everything helps, because you'll have somebody that may be on the other side of the world that wants to match that contribution to help with the JB Dundalo Foundation as well. Man, this has been absolutely amazing. So, Lumbi, what's next for the JB Dundalo Foundation?
Well, I think once the water competition, the music for water competition ends August 31st. So I wanted to let everybody know, because after that, then we're going to be judging to get our top 5, first of all, because from the top 5, then we're going to select the top 3. The top 3 are going to be revealed and announced in December 3rd, at the Voices for Water Awards.
Oh, December 3rd. That's my birthday. Sorry, just wanted to
Oh,
throw
wow.
that in there as
There you
well.
go.
Look at
We're
that.
celebrating your birthday that day.
There it is. And
So, yeah, that's when we're going to be giving away, the amounts, like the prizes, and get your publicity with the media. That's going to be there. we've partnered with Traveler's Voice magazine, and they're going to be interviewing all these winners and the people who participated. So yeah, that's what's next.
There you
Pretty
go.
much just raising funds so we can continue providing water to the people in Africa and also the people here in the US that don't have any water.
And to everybody that's watching, if you do, just to reiterate what Lumbi said, if you want to submit your song for the Music for Water event or for the competition, right here on the screen is where you're going to be able to find that and how to do it on jbdundalo.org /music for water. And then here's the timeline as well, just in case you wanted to do, if you wanted to get your song in sooner rather than later, here's the timeline for you as well for everybody watching. And I just want to talk about one more thing. Want to give a quick shout out to my guy, Rico No Suave. Rico was on my show about a few weeks ago. And if you want to check out some more great content on E360, definitely go check out the No Rico No Suave show as well, because just like us, he's doing amazing things and impacting lives of so many great people as well. So, Lumbi, we always wrap up the show because we only have a few minutes left for Weekly Dose of Dano TV, but we always wrap up the show in the same way, with the same question. So here's the question for you and to everybody that's watching as well. If somebody's in their lowest, deepest, darkest moments in their life and they're not sure how to get out of whatever, rut that they're in or hole that they're in, what advice would you have to give to these people in order to help them climb out of that hole and to start living, a more positive light, or to really see the light in the world?
I always tell people that not everything's about you. It's not about you. Okay? So when you feel down or something like that, always think about what purpose, why are you here? What is your purpose on planet Earth? You have a purpose. Get up, dust yourself, and just know that you can make a huge impact and you can redeem yourself and be bigger than you think. Don't look down on yourself or look and pretend that and play small. You're a lot bigger than that. Define your own success. Define what success means to you. Define what your world looks like. Don't have other people define your world. You can do better than that. Always define your own world, your own space, because at the end of the day, when you go to bed, it's just you. The whole world is not going to be there with you. So that's what you have to think about. And always think that, and because you're going through a difficult time, you're not alone. Other people too are going through a difficult time, probably at the same time, maybe different times. So, just think about that it's not just you. There's a lot more out there. And I just also want to say how grateful I am to Beatrice Davis and to the No Suave show. I think they're doing a great job, and their support is just amazing. That's how I got to know you, and that's how I got on this show. That's because of them. I just want to thank them and thank you as well for having me on this show. Dano, it's really remarkable. Thank you for spreading the word and spreading the love. I really appreciate that.
Of course, 100%. Anything that we can do to spread the love, like you said, and spread the positive vibrations. So everybody, that was Weekly Dose of Dano. I hope you really enjoyed the content. Let's just go through a few of these messages right here. Lou says, great message. Rico, shout out to him again. He says, yes, exactly. So your message must have resonated with him as well, because we all know like attract likes, right? So since you're doing great work and I'm doing great work and Rico's doing great work and Beatrice is doing great work, that's how we're all going to find each other in this world. And it's like you said, don't ever think that you're by yourself as well, because when you know about, the law of attraction, if you subscribe to that, or just, the good karma in the universe, it's all going to come back to you, and you're always going to find your tribe. And, I'm just so grateful and honored to my positivity posse, to know you guys, that you come in every Thursday at 9 o'clock to support me, because we support, the JB Dundalo Foundation and all these other great foundations. And like I said, it's just always a perfect circle. The more you give, the more love you give, the more that you can receive. And it's just a perfect circle. So thank you so much, guys, for being here for today. Jeanette put the hands emojis, the claps. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Good vibes from Rico again. Always. Come on, guys. And I just want to say this one more time. Lumbi, you are awesome. So one more time, Lumbi, if somebody wanted to donate, help out, whether it's donating their time, donate their money, their resources, whatever they can do, where can they reach out to you at?
At jbdondolo.org. Actually, jbdondolo.org. And my social media is at jbdondolo, like you see on the screen right there. If you like us, and then I text you to the website, that's where you donate.
Awesome stuff. So thank you guys again to my Positivity Posse for being here today. Lumbi, thank you so much for spreading your great works and coming on and sharing the struggles and the successes that you've had with running the JB Dundalo. Hopefully that might have inspired out there somebody to, donate or maybe, help start their own, because like you said, you don't have to be the only one. There can be other people as well. So, oh wait, is it your birthday as well?
Not me.
Oh, well, my birthday is December 3rd, but you know what? There's somebody's birthday out there in the world. So thank you, Amber, and we'll take that happy birthday and send it to somebody's birthday that it is out there in the world. Everybody, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here on Weekly Dose of Dano. Next week, we have another great episode for you guys, spreading the positivity, spreading the love. And I'm just going to say it one more time. Lumbi, thank you so much for all of your great work. And to my Positivity Posse, I hope you guys have a safe weekend. Remember, go out there, spread that love, and just be safe. And like I said, just be that great person and be that role model that you want other people to become. Because if you start that trailblazer and you become that trailblazer, you're just going to make room and make a path for other people that are out there in the world that want to do the same things as you do. And you never know the rewards that you might get. So everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for another episode. Thank you again, Luby, for Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.